Hey YouTube, this knife you see before you is the Boker XS knife. That's the letter X and the letter S. It is designed by Chad Los Banos, a very famous knife designer. He's designed things like the Boker Trance, okay, some very popular knives. Now the blade length on this, the length of the edge itself is 2.6 inches. If you count the unsharpened portion of the blade, the total blade length is 3.1 inches. Now the price tag on this knife was very low, $23. The handle material, G10, textured G10, and the blade steel is 440C stainless steel. And as you can see, the tip design is what is sometimes referred to as a reverse tanto. You could also call it a modified Wharncliffe. It's basically a Wharncliffe with a swept back tip. And it is an excellent design for slicing. Right, and here you see a nice close-up of the blade itself. You see it does have a black finish. Right, and you can see the grind lines on that. That is a very nice design. Gives you a lot of cutting power for such a small length. You see the choile here formed by the ricasso and the handle, and you see it has texturing on the back of the spine, so that combined with the finger choile gives you excellent ergonomics on this knife. Great for slicing. See those two holes? I believe those are ornamental. The opening facility, dual thumb studs you see there. Alright, and this is actually a slip joint knife. There is no locking mechanism on this knife. And we'll talk more about that, but first you can see the texturing of the handle. You can see the pocket clip. Comes right side tip up carry. It can be switched to left side tip up carry. So it is a two-position carry knife. Now, as I said, it is a slip joint. There is no lock on this knife, but don't let that scare you. The reason they make it like that is because there are some countries that have restrictions on locking blades, right? So it's to help out those people in those countries. But it is very tight to open. I think you can hear from the way it clicks, you know, how tight the opening is, and that's a good thing, because even though there's nothing mechanically that prevents the blade from closing, there is a lot of friction, okay, between the partial tang and the pivot and that bar there. So even though technically there's no lock, but the amount of friction you have to overcome functions as a lock, all right? In fact, you have to be careful, because your tendency is going to be to want to close it like this. I would get your fingers out of the way and close it like that. Even though there is no lock, I have no concerns about safety. I'm not afraid of it closing under any normal use. And if you look at how you would grip it, it's hard to see, like, how would this close if you're holding it like this? It's you know, your finger is preventing it from closing. And as I said, it requires some effort to close even without a lock. Overall, I think it's an excellent blade. I mean, for the $23 I paid, would be a very convenient, smaller EDC, right? And you might wonder, does this get underneath the 3-inch limit that some places have? I believe it does, because, you know, I think it should be measured from there. If you measure it from there, then it might not. But I did see this being sold at a store in the United Kingdom, and they listed it as UK friendly, meaning they believe it is legal there under a 3-inch limit. Alright, there you have it, the Boker XS knife. I do recommend it as a smaller, convenient, light utility type EDC, especially for those trying to get under certain restrictions, whether it's a restriction on the length of a folding blade or the fact that it can lock mechanically. But I wouldn't stop there. Even if you're not under restrictions, For the price, I think this knife would be good for everyone who just prefers smaller EDC. As I said, it's technically a slip joint. It has no mechanical lock, but the way they've designed it is very clever. They've put so much friction between the tight pivot and the non-locking bar on the spine. I would have no safety concerns using this at all. I don't think it would close. I've seen cheaper liner locks that are actually more dangerous to use than this slip joint. Great ergonomics. I like the G10 and the 440C. You know, it's certainly acceptable for a knife of this price range, and you know, at $23 you can use it as a beater knife. Overall, this is just another excellent design by Chad Los Banos. I hope you enjoyed this knife review. Hope you found it useful to you. Stay tuned for many more videos. I'm out of here. Peace out.